Can you hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me now? God in my system, been the one I'm kissing. Why might extensions that'll look like.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the Atlanta Falcons. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back 25! 22!
This time Ryan will throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. On 1st down, they go option to the right. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. From the shotgun, Ryan. He finds his target, Beckham. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And give him a gain of 37.
I don't know about you, but I haven't met a receiver yet that doesn't like to run post routes.
And Odell Beckham Jr., he loves post routes, doesn't he?
He really does, and I think the reason he's so successful with them, as we just saw there, is the intensity with which he runs the route. I mean, even when you know it's coming and you're covering it well, his intensity seems...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. His throw incomplete. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll look to throw. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. He's going to loft one deep, looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right, get it to your back, get a lot of people out in front, control the line of scrimmage, wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Miller operating from the gun. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. Oh, he sheds himself free. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Falcons. Austin Hooper, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got him, took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Cardinals. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got a bike cover.
And oh, coughed it up. And the Falcons say they have it, they do.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Let's go!
Here's Miller. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it's a 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Come on, let's go!
Back to throw. Miller swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gun, gun, gun!
From the gun, it's Ryan. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
On is the punter King to send it away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Able to power through.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes... For the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Back to throw now on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And past the 30 down to about the 27. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Gun. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd down, that's Logan. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And thus far in this NFL season, no touchdown scored for him, and he's not going to get it on that play either.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Hey, you got 4. You got 4 down. Let's go. 22. Back 25.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. He just joined the double-digit party with that last pick. He now has 10 on the season.
And that takes a great amount of skill, study, a tad bit of luck. But bottom line, he's had a heck of a season.
So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Ohio!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that'll make this a 2nd down.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. Touchdown, Cardinals! Christian Kirk, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. Well, so it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally, you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Akeem Hunt now to return. A strong running. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again.
And now Miller hit, and he fumbles.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Shreds the tackle. This time a spin. And shedding his way forward. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets him back for 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Cook has it, left side. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. On 3rd down, it's Logan. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration.
Tell you what, I don't think I agree with the call to go for it, but I will be the first to give him credit because every book in the world tells you to punt in that situation, but he trusted his instinct, and as a result, his guys are going to get a new set of downs.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. On play action, they'll throw. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Throwing to start the drive. Miller dancing to his left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
Flex round!
Now Miller throwing on 1st down. Escaping the... And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. Going up top. This is caught inside the 15. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Miller now on 1st down. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. They begin the drive with Johnson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. Back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Here's Andy Lee now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25. On the touchback. Second half starts with a run by Abdullah. Space to maneuver at the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They go back to Abdullah on first. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A second down run for Abdullah. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Cardinals on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw here. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down right around the 37. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Flex round! Flex round!
A first down carry here for Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ohio! Ohio!
They'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Cardinals on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they've been moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they're through the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. On second down, here's Ryan. Man open left side is Brown. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. Now it's Peterson. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They were happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want...
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great effort there. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals are in for 6. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And it's now 17-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marcus Golden. And he'll be marked down at the 2-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll set up to throw. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine. I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 20.
11. Let's go.
Here's Ryan. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Falcons on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Back now in Atlanta. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. The Falcons on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now the pitch to Freeman. Freeman a first down and more. Touchdown, Falcons! Devontae Freeman with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the fourth. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Duke Riley coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Kirk. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. He'll drop to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Tack McKinley in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Here's Andy Lee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Pulled in at the 24. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A gain of 3, second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Ryan now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And now running right through it. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. On second down, Freeman. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, guys.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Let's go. White 90. White 90.
Miller to throw on 3rd down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And able to find Kirk complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. After the interception, here's Ryan. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They toss to Freeman. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Flex round! Flex round!
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. On 3rd down, Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Falcons are close to finishing off this football game. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Tackle made there by Josh Bynes.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. On third, here's an option play right. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Atlanta, the win means they'll finish in double digits at 10-6. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better-than-average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, this loss will mean they finish the season right at 500 at 8-8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure. And for Charles Davis and our entire